Hi everyone and welcome back to the ChromaticKnits podcast. My name is Michelle and this is my place on the internet where I talk about all of my knitting. You can find me on Instagram as chromatic_knits and you can find me on Ravelry as ChromaticKnits. I'm so glad to be back. As you can see, I have Aria with me today. She's my little helper, so if you hear her licking, she just is a licker. She just is. So she might be licking me, she might be licking the chair, who knows? But she'll probably be licking during this episode at some point. So if you hear that, I apologize, but she's just a licker. That's just her love language. So, all right. First thing I wanted to get into. See, she's already started licking me. The first thing I wanted to get into, it has been a while. I have gone on a birthday trip. I have had some things happen in my personal life, and it's been a lot the last few weeks, so that's why I was delayed. But I am back. I've gotten some knitting done during that time, and I've purchased some yarn. Yeah. So that will be happening too. Okay, so first thing I wanted to talk about, though, because we are coming up into the summer months, these are just my notes for today's episode, is that we do have some fiber festivals coming up. So please go support your local fiber festival if you possibly can. Some big ones coming up are Kentucky Sheep and Wool is coming up. DFW in Dallas is coming up. Rhinebeck will be happening in the fall, end of summer. But there are a bunch of local ones that are popping up everywhere. So if you don't know if there's one in your region, definitely look it up and see if there is one. You usually can just search Fiber Festival or Fiber Fair near and then just put your zip code and they'll come up that way. But it's really important that we support these small businesses, these farms that have this fiber, and our own community. So if you're at all possible to support, please go attend those events. I know that some of them are starting to close because people just aren't going as much as they were before, which is sad. So definitely want to get out there and go to them while we can and support them so they can continue to come back for years to come. So that is my little soapbox about that. I will be going to at least one in Tulsa later this year, so in a few weeks. I believe it's at the end of July, so that's exciting. So I'll go support that one. That's the closest one to my home that I am aware of, or that I am able to go to because I don't have other things going on at that time. So I'll definitely be checking that out. Other things that have come up in the fiber community, as always, the emotional support chicken is definitely on my radar. Definitely gonna make one. Haven't decided when I'm gonna make it yet, but I'm definitely gonna make it. Because who doesn't want an emotional support chicken? No, my friend from high school, her name is Karen, and she's a nice Karen. She's not like an I want to talk to your manager Karen. She had what she called her Easter chicken, and she would take that thing on trips that she went on, everywhere. She took Easter chicken with her everywhere, and she took pictures of him with her everywhere. And then all of a sudden, like, it's been a few years since the last time I saw one, and then all of a sudden this like emotional support chicken came out, and I was like, she was doing it before it was popular. So yeah, so I just sent her a message and was like, hey, I haven't talked to you in forever, because you know how you get out of touch with people that you knew in high school. And I was just like, so funny story, this is the thing now, and I think it's your fault. so so there's no way that she watches this, but I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, she was doing it before everybody else. She is the OG chicken, emotional support chicken. Let's see. What else? Um, I think the next thing that I have is actual knitting. So I've knit on 3 projects. I am so close to finishing them though, but I just am not quite there. So I do have 3 whips that I have worked on. So my first whip is a vanilla sock. So remember when I said that I was gonna make socks every month of this year? As my friend Tina constantly reminds me. I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna make a pair of socks for every month this year. So these socks are from February. But you know what? It'll be fine. We'll get there. It'll be fine. I'll just have to stop knitting everything else. Oh my gosh, my eye's just itchy. For some reason. Allergies going crazy. Um, but yeah, so these are vanilla sock. This is my first pair with a long leg. These are vanilla sock on magic loop from the crazy sock lady who is Kay. Um, and just I'm just now I finished the so I finished the leg. Last time you saw it, I think there was like this much. Like I just finished the ribbing or something. So finished the leg, finished the heel turning gusset, and then I'm now into the foot. So that is coming along. So this should hopefully be done by the next time I see you, which is very exciting. And then I'll have a full pair because I've already finished the first one. So that is coming along. Always, as always, I always knit my socks on a size 0 because I'm a loose knitter and that's how I roll. So, and I love this self-striping yarn. And I always get it in a gobstopper if I can. Self-striping yarn because it's just so much easier to just start using it. Plus, you can see all the colors. And it's really neat. Love having everything gobstoppered. So, it's usually like, I know a nomadic yarn, she usually charges like $2 or $3 extra, but it's 100% worth it. Would recommend. Or if you can find somebody else that does it, would recommend them too. For sure. But yeah, so those are coming along. And then I have talk about that one last. Okay. I have the corner to corner blanket that I'm just making up. It's literally just like a dishcloth pattern that I've just made into a blanket. And it's semi-rainbow, but I just happen to have scraps that are in these colors. So that's what we're doing. So I'm almost to the end. I'm getting there. I'm this far apart, so I just need to continue to decrease. But it was that wide. And the last time I showed it on here, I was where the narwhal is. So I finished all of the blue. I finished the green, all of the blue. This is a 100-gram skein here. And then I've started the purple. I'm a couple inches into the purple. So this will be getting a good amount of work. Hopefully it will be done by the next time, or very, very close to being finished by the next time I am on here. So again, this is just a random mismatch of yarns. Some of them are wool, some of them are acrylic, some of them are cotton, some of them are some kind of mix of all of the above. So yeah, this is going to my cousin. So my cousin, my family's kind of strange because both of my parents were the babies and their eldest siblings were like 15 to 20 years older than they were. So all of my cousins my first cousins are 20 years older than me. They're like 15 to 20 years older than me. So I'm, so not all of them, but a lot of them are. So in some cases, like my cousin Cody, my second cousins are closer to me in age than my first cousins are. Because my first cousins are like 20 years older than me. So they could be my parents, potentially, like technically. So, yeah. So a lot of times my second cousins are closer to me in age than my first cousins. But anyway, so that was just a random tangent. Basically to say that my cousin Cody, who is my second cousin, this is his daughter. This is for his daughter. So I will get that done and shipped off hopefully soon. That'd be great. The third thing I've been working on, I have a bone to pick with this pattern. Okay. I've been fighting with this pattern since I started it, which is the Sweet Shop blanket. I thought it was going to be easy to understand, all of that. But she puts a double stitch, like from German short rows, at the beginning of a row, which I've never seen before. And I'm like, how does that even work? Like, how do you pull it up and over and then get the double? But how do you do that on the first stitch? Like, I don't understand. And I emailed her and was like, hey, like, I literally don't understand. And she's like, well, I put a description there of what to do. You should just watch a video then and figure it out. And I was like, I and my whole entire knitting group looked at this and were like, what? And we couldn't figure out how to pick up the next square. Like, basically, we just made it up. We were like, this is the only way that makes sense to do it, so we're just going to have to do it that way. And so basically, I have thrown out the pattern because why bot, like, I can't understand it. I don't understand what she wants me to do. She's not being helpful when I email her. And so I'm just like, forget it. So I'm just going to make the pattern and I'm just going to make it myself and I'm going to do it my way. And it might be a little bit lopsided. It might be a little bit weird because I started with her pattern and then switched to my own pattern. But I don't care because A, this is going for a child who's not going to know the difference. And it's going to parents that will also not know the difference. And I need to get this done and I can't be fighting with the pattern every 5 seconds. And fighting with the pattern every 5 seconds makes me lose my joy of knitting this project. And my dear friend Micah, who has been fighting infertility for so long and finally has made it to the 3rd trimester, deserves the world. And she deserves this blanket. So her favorite colors are green and brown. So I started this off with green and brown, and then I have done one of the side. So see how these like aren't quite the same. Someone's trying to call me. And then I've started picking up in the corner so I don't have a gap there. For the next brown square. So this is coming along. It's setting up. And like I said, I've basically abandoned the pattern now because I just couldn't understand what she wanted me to do. This basically is a corner to corner dishcloth. That's what this is. And then what she wants you to do is some kind of weird German short row, but there's like 1,000 ways to do that. So just look up any corner to corner dishcloth and then just connect them together. Like, so that's what I'm doing. And then eventually this is going to be a blanket. So I'm hoping to do 3 or 4 wide. I haven't decided yet until I see it. Because my squares, the way I'm doing them, is getting wider than her squares were, but I really don't care. So, yeah. So we'll just see how it works out. make the blanket, get it over to my friends, and stop fighting with the pattern and just enjoy my knitting again. So we're just going to do it my way and make it rock. Make it work. So I'm making this out of 100% cotton, except this yarn here, this green is Knit Picks Comfy, and it is 75% Pima cotton, 25% acrylic. So that this whole thing will be washable in case of any spills or spit ups or whatever. And then they don't have to worry about trying to take care of wool and do all those things too. So, and it's super drapey. Like, this yarn is hella drapey. You can take that to the bank. That's the phrase of the day. Hella drapey. But just like, it just like bounces and drapes. So, yes. So this is coming along. I have been fighting with the pattern. I give up. And I'm just going to do it my own way and say screw the pattern. That is what we're doing. So, sort of the Sweet Shop blanket, but with my own twist to it. So that is in this giant bag because I need so much yarn. And the other yarn I'm using, so I said that I have the green is Knit Picks Comfy, and then all the other colors are, let me find one with the ball band, this Lion Brand 24/7 cotton that I got from my local yarn store. So, then this is the Cafe au Lait color. And the cream is the, let's see if it tells me, what color are you? Ecru is the name of the cream color. So, and the green is Knit Picks Comfy in the color 1383, which is Ivy. So everything is worsted weight. I think the pattern calls for like DK, but I'm just doing worsted because why not? So that is coming along. Hopefully this will have a lot of progress done on it. I'm really going to focus on this over the next few weeks and try and get all of these things as close to done as possible, which is always the goal, but especially with these projects, as I need them to like go to get out of here, because I have a couple of projects in my head that I want to start, but I can't start them until I finish these. So now, like I said, I had a birthday. And yeah, which meant yarn, basically. And the only receptacle big enough to carry it all is this giant basket that I got for my birthday. So I got this basket for my parents. Love it. It's one of those baskets from Ghana that you can get, that you see in a lot of like knitwear stores. But let's just go through the yarn that I got. So for my birthday, I got myself some Lola Bean Yarn Co., which is one of my favorite dyers. So you can see Lola Bean. There, that's where it's set up now. So this is from her grunge collection. So I got the grunge red and the grunge purple. Love those. It's a different color than what you've seen before. You know what I mean? Like, she had to mix up those colors, which was great. Let me take these out of here when I talk about them. Where are the other Lola Bean? Here we go. And then the other Lola Bean is this. So the front one there, the gray, is Electric Feel, I think. And then the back is Adela's Purple, which is actually done in Peru. And a lot of it is sold at Knit Stars, the Knit Stars store. But she had it a lot cheaper than what you can get it at the Knit store, so whatever. The Knit Stars store, I should say. And then on a D stash, I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. These are Sorella Yarns. This is her Berry Jam colorway, which is my favorite of her colorways. And I got 6 of them, and this is in her DK. It's 100% superwash wool. And then for my birthday, my girlfriend, oh my gosh, she spoils me. She took me to Hot Springs, Arkansas. And on the way there, we stopped at 2 yarn stores. So we stopped in Little Rock. At the first yarn store we stopped at was Yarn Candy with a K. She is in Little Rock, and she has Farmer's Daughter Fibers, which is what this is. And my absolute favorite color is red, and this perma is like the perfect red, like, for me. It's beautiful. It's a little bit deeper, and it has like these lighter and darker tones in it. It's so beautiful, guys. Like, I can't even. And this is in her fingering. Yeah, 100% super wash. And then after that, we stopped at the Hot Springs Fiber Co. So this was actually, is what they told me, that this was one of their monthly box colors. They just dyed a couple extra skeins of it. So this is actually an 100% superwash. I think, let's see. Yep. 100% superwash merino. 100 grams, 495 yards. It's called Sky Over. So, yeah. So they have a bunch of different clubs that you can join, and they have like a blanket club. So you get like a skein every week, and you put it into a blanket because all the colors are supposed to go together. So I know, like, Natalie of Nitty Natty is getting one of those clubs from Hot Springs Fiber Co. every month. But yeah, I just saw this skein, thought it was really unique, didn't have anything like it in my stash, so I purchased it. And then I also got these 4 skeins on a D stash. This is also Sorella yarn, and this is her worsted. I don't have a lot of worsted weight yarn, and this is called the Library. Is this colorway? It's classic, like, teal and brown. I don't have anything like that in my stash. And then I got, there are technically 5 of these, but one of these is balled up, and I didn't want to bring it over because I didn't want it to roll away or for Ari to steal it. So, there's actually 5 of these. This is also Sorella worsted. This is Sarah Good colorway. So there's a lot of speckles in there. There's some reds, maroons, browns, greens, orange, yellows. See all those colors in there. So I thought that would be neat with all the speckles. And then from a D stash, I got these 3 from Sorella yarn. This is also her worsted, and this is in the Home colorway. So it's just this really nice green, like a forest green colorway. And then I got these 2 skeins from my local yarn store. This is Cascade Heritage. Let me see what colorway this is. This is color number 5606, which is like a maroon, basically. And they only had 2 skeins yet left, so I grabbed them because I love maroon. And every time I go to my local yarn store, I try to find something to purchase just to support them. Maria's just sleeping. She's just passed out behind me. So she's got like this much chair, and I've got like this much chair. on the very edge. Yeah, don't kick me. Yeah, you're the one hogging all the chair, bro. Okay, so that is all of that. It's a lot of yarn, but we'll get through it eventually. Let's see. Let's talk about some live stuff. So what have I been watching recently? I've been watching a lot of, so anyone who doesn't know this, I am bilingual. I also speak Spanish, and I have been watching a lot of Spanish romances. You guys. And some of them are dubbed in English, so I would highly recommend Smiley. If you haven't seen it, it's a Netflix original, and it is adorable. Like, it is the story of these two guys that meet. Like, so one of the guys, his name is Alex, he works in a bar, and he mistakenly dialed the wrong phone number and left a voicemail on Bruno's phone saying that like he was over with his old relationship, and Bruno was like, "You're not in a relationship anymore?" And he called him up and was like, "Hey Alex, just want to let you know that you had the wrong number. Like, are you free?" And they started talking, and they had some good chemistry, and so they decided to make a date of it. And so Bruno goes to Alex's bar where he works as a bartender, and it's all about like the chemistry that they have and how they're opposites of each other, and how he's really the opposite of what Alex usually goes for, but it really works for him. And so they have this like amazing night, and then both of them want to get together with the other one, but they keep like missing each other. It's so good. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, no. I was like, go get him. Like, I was like rooting for them the whole time. Oh my gosh. And then like the people that they end up with, like the people, like they end up with other people in the middle, and then yeah. But anyway, it's the whole time like they just keep messing each other, and I was like, go, go, go. And then you see them like take off or whatever, and you're like, no. You're like, maybe it will happen this time. Maybe it will happen this time. And it's so hilarious, and would highly recommend. 10 out of 10. If you like gay romances in drag bars, you will love this story. Like, it's amazing. Would recommend. Um, what else have I been watching? I've been watching um I've been watching My Fault on Mia Culpa on Amazon Prime, which is like the ultimate telenovela story. Like, you know, the telenovela, like, oh, they meet. Like, these people meet, and they're like, oh, but they're step siblings. And it's like forbidden love, right? And I'm just like, that's hysterical. And so, like, you just see that, you see, like, this love story start to happen. And it's like the epitome of telenovela. Like, but you can't be together because we're step siblings. And I'm just like, be together, be together. Yes, I am that person that claps and is like, do the thing. And yes, I do know that I look like a seal. Don't worry. What else? Oh, I've been watching Through My Window too. Oh my gosh. It's a 3-movie set. Buckle in. Settle in, buckle up. It's that, like, so basically the premise of this story is like the opposite of Twilight. So instead of the guy being obsessed with the girl is obsessed with a guy and stalks him. Like, routinely stalks him. And oops, sorry, beep. Um and so he like confronts her about stalking him, and but then he starts to, so he's like, well, might as well take advantage of this because they're like teenagers. And he's like, well, if she's gonna stalk me, then I can get in her pants or whatever. But then he starts to like catch feelings for her, and it's all downhill from there. It's great. 10 out of 10, would recommend. It is dubbed in English, I believe. That one is on Netflix. And like I said, there are 3 of them. So There's Through My Window, which is the best. The first one is obviously the best. The second one is okay. And the third one is better than the second one. um, also like Twilight. Um, and the fourth book of Twilight. No. Can't do it. Can't do it. But yeah. So would recommend all of those. Also keep in mind a couple of things. One, our rating in the United States has different regulations in Europe, in European countries than it does here. So those shows will come up as mature here, but they are rated R in Spain, where they are from. Because again, Spain has less censorship than we have here in the United States when it comes to cussing, when it comes to nudity, when it comes to sex scenes in movies. So, just as a heads up, those things are there as well, um, because it's just a normal part of culture and it's not censored or seen as bad in Spanish culture. So, that's just something to think about. I haven't watched them in English, so I don't know how they're translated. I only listened to them and got them in Spanish. So, and if you are a Spanish speaker and you watch Smiley, I would recommend getting the subtitles in Spanish because they do speak Catalan in that one at some points. So, just as a heads up, if you have it in Spanish, the audio in Spanish, they will still speak Catalan in the audio instead of translating it to Spanish. So, just to let you know, because Catalan, for those of you who don't know or aren't familiar with Spanish regions and dialects and things, Catalan is a different language than Spanish. It is older, and it is the language spoken in Catalonia, which is the autonomous community most northeast in Spain, where Barcelona is. So Barcelona is the capital of Catalonia. So think of like states in America. Autonomous communities are kind of like states. So they kind of have their own mini governments, and then there's like the federal whole country government. So Catalonia has its own language. It's called Catalan, which is similar to Spanish but is not Spanish. So there are some words that you will definitely. So, like, for example, in Spanish, if you go up to a bank, it'll say caja on it. If you go up to a bank in Catalan or Catalunya, it will say caixa. So caja is CAJA, caixa is CAIXA. So they're not the same language. Like, they're similar. The words are similar but not the same. And you can't always figure out what it is. Like, I struggle sometimes to understand what they're saying in Catalan. Um, I would say that I understand people better in Italian and Portuguese than in Catalan. So, would just like to give you a heads up on that. But otherwise, they're great shows. Would recommend. If you have any great shows like that you would recommend, please put them down in the comments. Always looking for shows like that. Just those shows that you just want to watch and knit to. Oh my gosh, I had the hiccups now. Sorry, guys. That you want to watch and you want to knit to, and you just want to like turn your brain off. Like that is what I'm looking for right now. What else? I am rereading Red, White, Royal Blue, which, if you haven't seen it, is a show that's also available on Amazon Prime, so check that out. And then, yeah, like I said, I went on a trip with my girlfriend, which was amazing. We went to Hot Springs and we went to those yard stores, and then we went to the casino, and we met up with some of our friends for the horse racing that they had that weekend. And so they did a lot more of the horse racing than we did. My girlfriend bet on a couple of the races, and then we went and played table poker, where it's like everybody against the dealer, basically. And so that was fun. We didn't lose a lot, which was good. But yeah, that was fun, and she took very good care of me. We stayed with an Airbnb with some of our friends and went out for breakfast the next morning at this amazing restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. If I think of it, I will put it in the comments below. But it is like this Latino. Oh, it's cafe. Um, oh, I can think of what her name is. I was like, oh, I'll just grab up my phone. It's what's recording me right now. Um, it's Callo. It's Cafe Callo is what it is because it's based on Frida Kahlo. So yeah, so it's Cafe Callo in Hot Springs. Would recommend. It was amazing. Everything that they made there was amazing. I got the dulce de leche pancakes. They were amazing. Would recommend. Um, Other people there got omelets and got other things, and they said that everything that they had was amazing. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely do. They're open in the morning and then for lunch, I believe, most days. So go check them out if you live in the Hot Springs area. Would recommend. Would definitely go there again, and definitely will the next time I'm in the Hot Springs area. But that is all that's going on here. And I will be posting more on Instagram. You'll be seeing some things there soon. You'll also be seeing some new projects coming up because I have some gift knitting that I want to do for Christmas and those types of things. So I will be starting to cast those on very soon. I just need to get a couple of things off my needles first, and then we can cast them on. So that is what I'm waiting on. But me and my giant pile of yarn are gonna go now. You have a great day, a great couple of weeks. Happy knitting, and I will see you again next time. Bye, everybody.